minutes, and already we've had a big-time highlight. Second New Orleans turnover. Nice pass. Oh, Ray Young.
That's a beautiful thing there.
Pelicans come away. Lonzo on the bounce. Holiday, give and go to Zion. Two-hander. 13-11. And Zion has 7 of the 11 points.
And welcome into Views from the Sideline, October 8th, 2019. I'm your host, Chris Pappas. Alongside me, Joey Tysick and Malik Hill. You just heard Zion Williamson's debut in the NBA. Started off with 3 first-half huge dunks. This guy is seriously a stud already. Look forward to watching him for many years to come. Welcome into the show. What's going on, guys?
I can't wait till he hits the rookie wall and people start calling him a bust like people do every single year with every single rookie.
He's a different type of rookie.
I still don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Who do you think's going to win Rookie of the Year?
Taco Fall.
If I had to vote,
Give me
I'd
an
vote.
argument that he won't.
He's not.
Even
good
if he
at
plays
basketball.
3 minutes a game, if he averages like 2 and 2,
He's going to have
Rookie of the Year.
Boban efficiency. I know it.
Hope so.
He seems more.
He's
agile
not a
than
good free
Boban.
throw shooter. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Zion looks great, but I just think on that team, I think he's going to lose a couple touches, which could help him, I think, overall in his development. But I think like guys like John Morant's going to get a lot more usage on the Grizzlies and stuff like that. So just my thoughts.
I think Zion's still going to start. I think he'll still get.
Oh, yeah, no. He'll get plenty of time. I'm just saying there's a lot of talent on that Pelicans team now.
Did you guys see Lonzo's new shot?
Yeah.
He hit a 3 last night.
Yeah, he hit
He's
8-3.
gonna hit some.
He
Yeah.
started good, but then he took a lot of shots and it wasn't.
I'm
It
sure-
was like
I'm-
normal Lonzo at the
I'm
end.
sure they told him to start out aggressive. But
And his shot isn't that much different. He just he doesn't throw it as far over.
he
as
doesn't throw
did
it from
before.
the side. He comes up straight
It's
with it.
it's still like a slight like that, but even Kevin Durant kind of does that if you watch closely. So they just like change it a little bit so it's a little bit quicker.
You know, people always give props to these players that change their shooting form. It's like, oh, you're trying to do better. You're trying to better your team, or you're better yourself as a player. But a lot of the times, I feel like that doesn't work out. Like
Yeah.
Stanley Johnson tried to change his form, and everyone was praising him. Oh, he's gonna be now. The dude's almost out of the league because he can't shoot
Mhm.
because they tried to mess with something that was good. Who else? It did work for Jason Kidd. He had a broken shot. He changed it, and now he's good. So we'll see what ends up happening with Lonzo. But it could work out, or it could be absolutely terrible.
Right. Usually you say if you get to this point, if you make it to the NBA with the shot that you're using, you might as well just keep it. It looks ugly, but
Exactly.
whatever.
I
It's
agree.
fine.
I guess let's just jump right into it. Unless you guys have something you want to talk about before that.
We can get to the NBA
you
stuff later.
NBA stuff later. We cannot skip your Michigan
the most important
Wolverines.
news.
You know, it was a big game. Iowa is quite the competitor.
They're a good team.
They're a good team. You know, they might be fighting for that college football playoff positioning.
Doubt it.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
But they could have been contending in the Big Ten.
strong contender for the second spot in the Big Ten West, which isn't impressive, but they're Iowa, so their expectations aren't always.
Michigan only won 10-3.
But they're still always a good team.
Yeah.
Top 5, 25 ranked team. So always a tough matchup.
Michigan should have won by more than 7 points.
Well, their
Yes.
offense isn't very good. So
They got to the red zone like 4 or 5 times. Actually, I think more than 4 or 5 times. Led to nothing. They had a missed field goal going in half. Shea Patterson missed some throws. It looked like there was some miscommunication.
How
at
upset were
times.
you watching this game?
Well, I'm a different type of Michigan fan. I don't let when I'm around like my family, they're Michigan fans and they like to like get mad.
They get
or
emotional?
Extreme, yeah.
you're a realist?
I like what.
Would you say that?
extremely. I like watching
Stop,
Michigan games
Joe.
by myself for those reasons. When I'm watching them by myself, I don't overreact to anything. When a turnover happens, it's just like, okay. They score a touchdown, I don't react. I just watch what happens, and I just let it.
You don't get
unfold.
over. So if your team wins a national championship,
I'd probably cry.
okay.
I'd probably
so that's where the
fall-
emotion
yeah,
comes
I'd
in.
probably just fall down and cry.
I can't believe-
because I can't see it happening. So
I can't believe what you not getting excited for a big play at the end of a game.
It depends. It depends on the situation. Like when they scored a touchdown and they went up 7-0. It's just 7-0. This is nothing to get too excited about. I'm not gonna go crazy over that. But yeah, if they went on the Big Ten championship game-winning touchdown, I'm gonna be extremely happy and show some emotion. But yeah, they're up 7-0, 14-7. It's just like, yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Just keep doing what you do. But the problem is they can't keep doing
what they're doing.
Yeah, they can't
because
keep
they're
doing
not
going to
win many games like that.
What they're doing isn't working. Josh Gaddis being on the sideline worked against Rutgers because Rutgers is barely a college football team.
Whoa.
And, hey, come on, man. They fired Chris Ash. It all fell apart. Hopefully they get something better. But this speed and space thing he has, I don't think it fits these style of receivers. He's used to coaching guys like Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs and Devontae Smith at Alabama, who are different types of receivers. They're incredibly talented. These Michigan receivers are also very talented, but different types of receivers at Alabama, guys that can take 5-yard slants and screens to the house any play of a game. These are big body physical receivers at Michigan who have some really good straight line speed, but these aren't the same type of dudes that you coached before that can just break a big play at any time. You can't just force a system on guys that don't fit what you want, along with him being a first-time offensive coordinator. So he's still just trying to figure out plays and game plans going into matchups each week because this is a first-time thing for him. So, yeah, I think it's going to come along with he's recruiting guys that fit the type of system he wants to run, but he has to you got to get a different quarterback. You got to get different O-linemen. It's going to take a while for this offense to get going. And college football fans in general are impatient, but Michigan fans especially are some of the most impatient people on the planet.
Okay, but you got to see what they've been cheering for over the
yeah, of course, having a consistent offense should be it should be a regular thing. But I think this should have kind of been expected with a first-year offensive coordinator. That was just
in year 4.
He changed
year 4 of Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
you should not have to be patient.
But in my opinion, I don't know how other Michigan fans think, but
clearly not like
I think, in my opinion, Harbaugh has lost most confidence in what he thinks he should do as a football coach, especially at Michigan. There's a reason why he doesn't have much energy while he's coaching anymore. He doesn't scream or yell at anything. He just puts his hands on his knees or hips and just stands there looking sad or confused about things that happen because he doesn't have much answers left, which is why he brought in Josh Gaddis and made a dramatic move of, okay, Josh, you take over the whole offense.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. Don Brown runs the defense. Josh Gaddis, you take over the offense.
What does Jim do?
And hopefully he's the spokesman pretty much. If he doesn't like what's happening, he'll maybe change a play or two. He's a head coach. Of course he does his things on the sidelines, but he's not the same coach he was when he got to Michigan.
He's focused on his Downy commercials.
Oh, stop
Is it Downy?
Joe.
I don't even know if it's Downy.
No
But
What did you see from this one, Joe? What's your opinion of Michigan right now?
He wants to win so bad at Michigan, and I think it's broken him down that he just can't get it done.
I think, again, it's unfortunate that Dylan McCaffrey went down. I think this offense would have more options if McCaffrey was available.
I think they should play Joe Milton, but they're afraid to do that too.
I agree a little bit to that as well, but I feel like he's just so raw of a talent that I don't know. We definitely saw the Michigan defense step up though, which is a sign that we haven't really seen a whole lot, as much as they're always highly talked about being their defense. But they got 8 sacks in this game. They
got interceptions.
They got 3 interceptions from Nate Stanley, who didn't throw a pick before this game.
Yeah.
And he's usually like a game manager, very safe quarterback. And being able to pick him off 3 times was great, especially because Michigan has a problem with turnovers themselves. So to get more turnovers is great. The fumbles are still a problem. I would like to see the stat on where Michigan ranks as far as fumbles in college football right now. I might have to look that up in a minute. But for some reason, they just can't hold on to the ball. And turnovers has been a big problem for this team the whole season. And I think that messes up with their offensive flow as well. But if their defense can keep playing like this, you got to expect that their offense is going to figure something out eventually.
They'll probably win 9 games if the defense can keep this up.
Right. I think they're going to still struggle in the Ohio State game, unfortunately, just because they're off. Like we just watched, we'll get to it. We watched Michigan State struggle on offense against Ohio State, and their defense played good, but it doesn't matter because you have to be able to score.
At some point, that talent for Ohio State and the quality coaching they have just overrules the defense you have.
Right. But again, this was a good win for Michigan. It's going to get tougher. They're going to play Penn State this week.
Next week.
They
play Illinois.
Oh, they get Illinois, then they get Penn State. Okay. So they'll get one more easy game before they get another tough.
Is
tough
it
little
easy
road.
though with how this Michigan team is? I don't think it's easy.
Yeah,
I think playing Illinois, I think it'll be easy.
Even at Illinois.
Jim Harbaugh blows out bad teams. That's always how it is. That since he's been at Michigan,
did Illinois
below average to bad teams, he never has a problem with.
And did Illinois just play Maryland? Was that the matchup?
Yes, and they got
no.
Rutgers played Maryland.
Was
played
it?
Maryland.
Oh, well then that's why they got rolled. Anyway, Illinois hasn't been that good, so.
So Malik, what's your confidence going into this week?
Well,
as a Michigan fan,
since it's Illinois, and even though they had a slight upgrade in talent going into this year, and it's funny they have Brandon Peters as their starting quarterback, who's been up and down for them because he only has a little bit to support him. I think they'll probably win by it should be like a 30-point win. I could see them winning 45-14, a game like that. Shea Patterson will probably throw 2 touchdowns. The running game will be okay. The defense will be really good, and it'll be Mirage going into the Penn State game, and they're probably going to get their butts kicked against Penn State. It's not going to be good in Happy Valley. It's going to be something else.
Let's move on to MSU at Ohio State. They lost 34-10, what everybody expected. But Joey was telling me he thought Michigan State was in that game and had a chance. What did you see from MSU to make you say that? Because they got trucked.
Literally no offense. That's the problem. Their defense was holding up pretty well. And then, I went out to watch the game with my dad and my cousin, and they kept showing the stats about how Ohio State's a big second quarter team. We're like, okay, well, if you can weather the second quarter, you'll be all right. Michigan State, first couple minutes, they look pretty good going in the second quarter. You're like, okay,
their defense was holding them back. They're playing strong.
Yeah, and then State just 3 and out, turnovers, different things that their offense could not stay on the field, and their defense had to keep going out there and keep going out there. All of a sudden, in the second quarter, Ohio State had almost 300 yards, total yards, which is incredible. That's way too much to be giving up. J.K. Dobbins started to explode. State started missing easy tackles. They just weren't wrapping up. They were going for punch-outs and weird tackling. It didn't make any sense. And I think part of it was them being tired and then them just getting frustrated on defense that their offense couldn't even stay on the field. So it's similar to Michigan at this point where their offense just doesn't look good. And I don't even know where the problem is because they've started to figure things out. They have Elijah Collins as their running back. That's been set in stone now. Darryl Stewart Jr. has been their best receiver now. That he's kind of becoming their number one option. He's looked good. But there was just drop passes. Lewerke didn't look that bad, like Malik was saying pre-show today. They didn't look that bad, but it just kind of all fell apart at the seams all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden, Ohio State's up 34-10. And once you're in that hole against an Ohio State team, you're not going to do very well. But it's like I said last week on the podcast too, where at the beginning of the game, they made Justin Fields throw the ball. And he didn't look incredible doing it. They picked him off a couple times.
That's because they were able to get some pressure on him in that. Yeah.
Right, and that's what I thought
no
would be
team
the key.
has really been able to do that. So.
Right.
But what changed then?
Huh?
What changed from them getting pressure on him early on to later in the game?
That's what I think. That eventually the defense tired out. Fields was able to get going a little bit, starting completing some passes, which then opened their running game. And once you open up J.K. Dobbins, it's over. I knew that they would be able to contain J.K. Dobbins because of how good their run defense is, but that leaves Justin Fields to pass the ball. Early on, they were getting pressure with their blitzes and things where they could make him throw pressured passes, and he missed. They picked him off, different things like that, and they were still able to stop the run game. But eventually, they just started missing, and they were missing coverages, and then it got Ohio State into their feel, and they got going, and then it just opens up the run game because then they have to watch the pass a little bit more, and things just got sloppy overall. But there were signs where they looked like they had a chance for a little while.
I'm gonna throw this to both of you. Were you surprised at the result of this game? Surprised at how Michigan State played or Ohio State played, or is this what you expected?
Well, I'm not surprised that they hung in there tough for the first quarter and a half, because that's the type of players they have and the type of players D'Antonio recruits. Just those guys that'll just knock out, drag out players that'll play hard from start to finish. But like he said, when you get put in a situation where your offense doesn't help you out and you have to keep going out and try to maintain it nonstop, there's going to be a point where the more talented team and the better coach team starts to separate. And I think they definitely did. I honestly think there are clear problems that can be seen from the Michigan State offense. First, I honestly think earlier in this decade, Mark D'Antonio was able to get away with not recruiting some of the better players in the country because of the style, the system he had, the coordinators he had, like Pat Narduzzi, guys that were some of the top coordinators in the country at the time. I mean, it was all just coming together at a perfect time for him. But now, where he just keeps recycling his coaching staff, and he only wants to recruit a certain way while everybody is advancing, every other program is changing.
Right. The game is speeding up.
Exactly. Your O-linemen don't look athletic. They don't look stronger than any other D-line. Your receivers are good route runners with good hands, but they're not game breakers. Your running backs are guys that have good vision, but they don't have the top-end speed or great athleticism to do anything. You have athletes that are good enough to play Big Ten football, but not good enough to separate themselves in any way. And I think that mixed with the coaching problems, with no real originality or anything, there's going to be a point where your players are going to get discouraged, where you have a good receiver that drops one pass. He can already realize that this is going to start snowballing, because if that offense makes one mistake, they don't have somebody that can just make one big play and they can get back into the swing of things.
They don't have a go-to guy.
Exactly. One turnover or one mistake leads to, oh man, here we go again. The defense is going to go out and do their thing, but we're going to get the ball back. And we've shown that we don't respond well to things like this. So here we go again. So
right.
And
like I said, they had plenty of turnovers. They stopped Ohio State a lot early on in the game. They had plenty of chances to score, and they just couldn't do it. They'd get a pick, they'd go 3 and out. They'd get a pick, they'd go 3 and out. They just didn't do anything for their defense that was playing so good early on. And even once Ohio State started pulling away, their defense still had made some stops, but the offense just could not keep up with Ohio State at all. And that's where the biggest problem is. And it's not like Ohio State's defense is bad. I'm not saying that. But you got to be able to score. They just couldn't even move the ball.
All right. Going into this week, MSU plays at Wisconsin, so no breaks for Michigan State. Is there a chance they can pull off this upset, or again, is this going to be kind of what we saw this past weekend is going to happen again this weekend?
I think Michigan State is, if they had this game maybe 2 weeks ago, I think there would have been a much better chance that they could have upset Wisconsin. But I think Wisconsin is on such a roll right now. Jonathan Taylor is just on another level of confidence. Their quarterback, Jack Cohn, is comfortable with where he's at right now. The defense is playing well, even with injuries. Michigan State's defense is going to keep them in the game for a good amount of time, but I think the first half could be 14-10. It could go. They could go into the second half 14-10, and it could be an upset alert. But I think by the end of the game, it could be like 31-14 by the end. Wisconsin wins in the second half. Michigan State just looks like they don't have anything left in them. I think a lot of games for the rest of the season might look like that for Michigan State, where they come out hot, playing hard, and then there just comes a point where we don't have the playmakers. We don't have what it takes to sustain this for 4 quarters against really good teams. So yeah, I think Wisconsin pulls away. I'll stick with a score of like 31-14.
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
for them to have to play J.K. Dobbins and then Jonathan Taylor, two of the best backs in college football, it's definitely a tall task. And yes, Michigan State's defensive line is really good. They have a lot of special players, I think.
Their front seven is strong.
But Wisconsin's offensive line
One of the best in the country.
is almost NFL level. And it's like that almost every year for Wisconsin. And they just happen to have one of the Heisman candidates in their backfield. So it's going to be really hard. Again, I kind of agree with Malik where like this could be similar to Ohio State where they come out, they look pretty good. But the problem is that Jonathan Taylor is just going to wear them down. And their offense, again, is going to have to make a play if they're going to win the game. Their defense can't win games. It's just that's not how their defense plays. And I'm concerned that this will be the downward spiral for Michigan State.
Yeah, D'Antonio has to get creative. I keep saying this every week. Why, if not another game, why not now?
Because he's a stubborn old man.
And he is 100%.
Not gonna lie, Michigan State fans, we're starting to get a little bit tired of it.
I think they're starting to get past that because he's shown he does not care at all about what his fans think.
Right.
I'm the coach. Shut up. That's pretty much what his thought process is.
Yeah, and it's pretty disappointing, to be honest.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we move on to NFL?
Not a lot of crazy things happened this week. Florida had a great win against Auburn. There are going to be some really good games this week. Texas plays Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Some others. LSU plays Florida, I believe. There are going to be some really good conference matchups.
LSU is looking like the real deal.
Yeah, they're
There's
explosive.
There was some question marks going into the season. They definitely were contenders, but the more that I've seen them, they look real good.
Alabama has serious competition.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's jump right into it then. Week 5 in the NFL. We start with a Thursday night matchup that was the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks pulled it out in the end, 30-29, and what was one of the best Thursday night games we've seen in a little bit. Definitely the best one this year. Joey, Russell Wilson is a monster. I know, I think me and you watched this one. Malik, I think, unfortunately, was working, so he had to catch the replays. But there's a couple throws by Russell Wilson this week that were just, you have to be a special player to complete those plays.
Him and like 2 other quarterbacks maybe in the world can make the throws he was making that night.
But yeah, Seattle hung out to win that one. Moving on, Panthers and Jaguars. Christian McCaffrey, boy, 237 yards from scrimmage. They won 34-27. Panthers are now 3-2. Jags 2-3. Gardner Minshew hype, is that starting to die down a little bit now?
No.
Well, he played against a really good, talented defense.
And
so.
he had a good game, though.
Exactly.
Like, in this game, he had over 350 yards, I think. A couple touchdowns to DJ Shark. Like, he looked good. I think their defense just didn't play as up to par. Again, Jalen Ramsey has been out, too. Not that Carolina throws the ball. Kyle Allen just kind of sits there, and Christian McCaffrey does all the work.
Exactly.
But
nobody thought when Christian McCaffrey was coming into the draft, into the NFL, nobody thought he was going to be able to carry a team like this. It's amazing seeing how he's evolving as a player. He's almost beyond the running back position at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
That can be used in any way on offense. Yeah. It's crazy.
I definitely didn't see him taking this big of a jump.
If Carolina can get close to the playoffs, I think they would need to be in the playoffs. McCaffrey's MVP.
Yeah. If they make the playoffs, there's a really good chance for him to win.
Is an award given, I feel like 90% of the time to a quarterback. So it would be really cool to see Christian win it. Cardinals Bengals is next up. Cardinals got their first win of the year, 26-23.
Congrats, Kyler.
Against the Bengals, who are now 0-5.
Yikes.
Yeah. That was a snooze fest this weekend.
Well, Kyler almost had 100 yards rushing, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's why I thought it wouldn't be the ultimate snooze fest, because watching Kyler is so exciting.
Yeah, and I'm starting to feel a little bit bad for the Bengals because they are banged up. Yeah. Like, they've had a lot of injuries.
I was in Cincinnati this weekend. It's not looking good down there.
They haven't had
fans.
they haven't had their number one receiver AJ Green all season. John Ross just went on to IR a couple weeks ago.
They have to be fans of Andy Dalton.
Tyler Boyd is now their number one receiver, which he's
He is a
solid
good-
receiver.
he's
He
solid
plays
receiver.
really well.
Yeah, but they're missing a lot, and it's unfortunate.
They have to embrace the rebuild. I'm sorry. Just trade it. There are teams that will happily take Andy Dalton in a trade.
Jaguars.
There are several teams that would happily take him. So just do it now.
They could get a lot for AJ Green, even though he's hurt.
Exactly. Draft a
Is he,
quarterback.
when is he supposed to come back?
They had talked about maybe this week, but it was unlikely. They already ruled them out for their week 6, but they're hoping by week 7, maybe week 8, they'll get him back.
All right. Moving on. Falcons at Texans. Man. Malik, talk about your favorite quarterback in the NFL real quick for us.
Favorite quarterback? Russell Wilson is my
He already
favorite
talked about
quarterback.
Russell Wilson.
I thought, okay, Deshaun Watson.
I really like Deshaun
I
Watson.
thought he
though,
was your
but
favorite.
This is what happens when Deshaun Watson has solid O-line play. They traded for Laramie Tunsil. He's playing well. The offensive line he didn't get sacked. I don't think he got sacked once in that game. Over 400 yards. I think 5 passing touchdowns. Yeah. Will Fuller had like 14 receptions for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns. His ability as a deep threat is insane. His speed and his ability overall it's really fun to watch. But the Falcons, man, I don't even know where the Falcons go at this point. Because they almost have the same team they had a few years ago with a few extra additions they've had. It's
1-4.
weird to see. Yeah,
Man.
Bad luck out there in Atlanta.
Tampa Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans got the win. Teddy Bridgewater, 300 plus yards, 4 touchdowns. They won 31-24. He is keeping the Saints above water.
This week, this was his first really good game.
Okay, but he still has been adequate enough to continue to get wins for the Saints.
Yeah.
If you plug in a subpar third string quarterback, you're not going to win certain games. So Teddy's done a solid job. Drew Brees, how is he out for 8 weeks? Did they say?
Most likely, he will not be back, I would assume, until after their bye week. Their bye week is week 9. So I think they want to keep it safe unless he really feels good enough to come back. I know that he's been throwing a lot in drills. They've been talking about it, that he's kind of been comfortable throwing the ball, but they want to make sure that he is 100% before they bring him back. And they don't entirely need to bring him back right away. They don't have to rush him. So I think they're going to try to give him these next couple weeks and then their bye week. So then they bring him back week 10 and make that final push for the playoffs, I would assume.
Vikings at the Giants. The Daniel Jones hype may be done. 28-10. Vikings get the win in New York. Vikings look solid. How was Kirk Cousins in this one? I mean, Delvin Cook had
He showed
218 scrimmage yards.
Kirk Cousins showed a pulse and threw some touchdown passes. Those receivers looked happy. Adam
Yeah,
Thielen had
Cook
a nice
put up
day.
over 200 yards though, so that's why he
That's,
looked.
that's what he was supposed to do.
Except for
It's
Stephon Diggs.
supposed, it's supposed to be
Okay.
it's supposed to be balanced.
200
it's
yards
supposed to
is
be
a
balanced.
lot. 200 yards
That's
is
because
a
he's
lot.
really good. Yeah, but it's supposed to
That's
be a
not
balanced
an-
effort.
that's
It's
not
not
an
supposed
a-
to be just Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins just looking sad on the sideline.
But Delvin Cook is not expected to put in 200 yards
I know
every
that.
game.
But he's a really good player. He's gonna have those types of games.
Stephon Diggs doesn't look happy. I'll say that.
He looked happy when they were celebrating those touchdowns.
Bears at the Raiders.
Surprise.
The Raiders look good.
John
Raiders,
Gruden
man.
Yeah.
got his comeuppance.
I mean, Jacobs. What is it? Josh Jacobs. He
Jacobs, yeah.
looks really good too.
I didn't understand why people were so upset when they picked him first round. I really like Josh
Yeah.
Jacobs. I like that pick.
Well, he had a great week 1, and then he kind of fell off the next couple of weeks. But they didn't give him as many carries, so it was interesting. When he's gotten over 20 carries a game, is his 2 games that he's had over 100 yards rushing. So he's definitely got a bright future, I think. Oakland, potential playoff team?
No,
They're in
I'm
a
not-
weak.
I'm not
they are,
doing that
They
yet.
are in a weak division.
they are, but I'm not jumping out on that.
Who's the
ledge yet.
competition for the Raiders in that division?
I'm just saying, is that
Broncos,
the
the
Chargers?
Fighting Flaccos. Then you have Phillip Rivers' arm falling off. That's who else they have. And then who's the 4th team?
I'm looking right now.
Dang it, who's the 4th? It's the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and
It would load.
Come on, Malik.
Oh, Kansas City.
And
Oh, yeah, they're going to win the
Yeah.
division, Joe.
come
Yeah.
on, come on.
Okay,
A
well,
weak
maybe,
division.
but they're a weak division, so maybe they can make a wild card.
If they made wild card, that would be a great step. That'd be really good.
But I've heard a lot of people say, what if Antonio Brown had never left? They need
He
a number.
probably still would have ended.
They
up
need a number
leaving
one wide
somehow.
receiver. I'm just saying.
He would have messed up somehow.
If he
Something
could have
like
figured
that.
it out, they needed a number one wide receiver. This team would have been a
Well,
lot better.
He's a student right now, so he doesn't
He's taking
he doesn't
his
have
classes,
time to
Joe.
he doesn't have time to think about
He's
NFL
studying
games.
for chemistry
That's
right
true.
now as we speak.
Did y'all see that post he made about somebody needing to proofread his paper
Yeah.
and how? Oh yeah,
What happened?
like it was the grammar, like the way he put together the sentence asking
Not
for help.
good.
It was even worse. Yeah, he's something else. Let's just move on. Yeah.
We can skip this next game. Eagles smoked my Jets 31-6. Sammy D comes back this week though, so that's a plus. But yeah, we'll skip that. There's not much to talk
I think
about.
they'll look a lot better with Sam.
I'm picking them
Darnold
to
in.
win this week.
Cool.
Ravens at the Steelers. Ravens pulled it off. This might be a different game if Mason Rudolph doesn't get knocked out. But the Ravens did win 26-23. I think the Ravens are starting to fall from everybody's good graces of that hot start, the hot start Lamar Jackson had. I think they're still going to win the division because I think the Browns are more hype than anybody. But they're not as good as maybe I thought after week 2.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's starting to look a little bit more like we saw last year, where his inaccuracy is coming out. But they're making him throw the ball a little bit more. Like their early season success was based on them getting the running game going, having Lamar Jackson throw like 20, 25 passes. These last couple games, he's thrown it a lot more, and I think that's somewhat part of the problem is their game flow, and he's just missing. And, he threw 3 interceptions against Pittsburgh, so that was a bit concerning. But I think they need to get back to what was winning them games. And they're like trying to implement him too fast, I think, into this passer that he says he can be. And we've seen signs that he can, but they just need to slow down. That's just not their style, I think.
Bills at the Titans. This one was kind of a snooze fest, but your Bills got the win 14-7.
And
4-1,
baby.
Let's go.
Frank Gore, the old
man.
man, is still out here killing people.
Mm-hmm. Their defense holding them down.
Yes, sir.
Josh Allen looking decent.
That's a defense that made Marcus Mariota look like Marcus Mariota.
Yep.
Yeah, these teams are just they're giving them a lot of confidence.
And then in a battle of the undefeated and the winless, the Patriots won 33-7, and the Redskins proceeded to fire Jay Gruden.
Do we have any yay sound bites or like people cheering? Yeah, we need to queue up. Pop the champagne bottle, Joey.
Hey, the Redskins were up 7-0 in this game. So
Steven Sims, how about that, huh?
first time
Yes.
the Patriots have
Yes.
been down in a game all season.
But that changed quickly.
Washington Redskins.
Listen, they got rid of Jay Gruden, but they hired somebody that was already on the staff. So
Well, they're not going to do a full-blown, have a coach ready to go.
well, I think
mid-season.
there were younger options on the staff they could have picked.
Okay, so you just didn't like the option they picked.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of the people in the organization, on the coaching staff, didn't want Dwayne Haskins, so it's still a lot of the guys that didn't want him, and they haven't gotten him well prepared. So, what's gonna happen now?
we can just
still?
blame Alex Smith for getting injured.
I'm not putting this on Alex Smith. This is on.
They showed the stats, though, from when Alex Smith got injured till now, and the record is just
It's
very bad.
This is just every decision the Redskins make is just on them. That organization has been a problem forever.
Broncos got their first win, won 20-13 over the Chargers.
Go, flag, go,
Calm down,
flag, go.
please.
Did you pick the Broncos, Joe? I feel
No,
like
I
you did.
didn't.
Oh,
You had a solid.
I
game.
wanted to. I remember that I wanted to, but I couldn't.
so I can remember if you picked them or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Broncos got their first win. So they're essentially playoff bound. I'm just kidding. Chargers probably let one slip away there, especially at home too.
They're so banged up, and yeah, they're just.
You
they're
don't
not
want
in a
that
very
game to
good
get away
place
from you though. If you're in
True.
the playoff contention,
True, but at this point in Phillip Rivers' career, you can't just expect to always rely on him to just pull out wins at all times. You got to have something more.
His to be fair though, his receiving core has been pretty banged up. Besides Keenan
Yeah,
Allen,
exactly.
as we saw, Austin Eckler got 15 catches in this game, which is like I think they said that's tied for the most ever by a running back. So that just tells you like he's got some problems like with his receiving core that he doesn't have a lot to throw to right now. But still, he's Phillip Rivers. He should figure it out.
Packers beat up on the Cowboys 34-24. Aaron Jones had 4 rushing touchdowns, most by a Green Bay player since 1999. Joe, you still confident about those Lions winning the division?
This game was a little bit of an eye opener, but Aaron Rodgers still doesn't look like Aaron Rodgers.
He doesn't have to,
and
which is the good part.
Yeah,
to me.
but I think
he doesn't have to be amazing.
I still think this is an outlier game from Aaron Jones. I just don't think he's not going to do this every week. That's not what kind of running back he is. They still do a little bit of a split carry between other running backs, and it just happens. Like where Aaron Jones is good is when he's in the red zone, and like I think somebody showed some stat that he's 7 for 10 on goal line carries, getting 7 touchdowns or something off of 10 carries, something like that, some craziness. And so his efficiency is just really high, and that's way higher than like the normal usage. But Green Bay definitely looked good in this game. I thought that maybe it was a fluke after they lost last week, and I thought that maybe Dallas would come in and beat them, but they didn't. So it's just going to make this Monday night game even more exciting, I think.
Colts Chiefs.
Big surprise.
19-13 win for the Colts.
Pat Mahomes has had some ordinary weeks.
Mm-hmm. Nobody picked this
Was
one.
it 1 touchdown in the last 2 weeks?
I think so.
Yeah, no one. Yeah. Who was going to pick the Colts over the Chiefs? Nobody.
I don't know. But the funny thing is, too, like, when you really break it down, like, it makes sense. The way that the Colts game manage. They run the ball, and they just pound the ball, and they take time off the clock. I think
they're tactical with their approach.
Game time possession or something was crazy, the difference between Indy and Kansas City. So, like, theoretically, it makes sense that they beat them, but obviously you have to stop Patrick Mahomes at the same time, so that's not an easy task at all. But it was cool. It was fun to watch, honestly. As far as, even though it wasn't like high-powered offense that you expect from like a Kansas City, watching Marlon Mack late in that game just get first down after first down was actually pretty exciting.
Before the season, if I told you the 49ers were 4-0, would you believe me?
No.
Well, they're 4-0. They destroyed Malik's Cleveland Browns 31-3.
Don't you put that on me.
Oh, stop
Don't
it.
put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Slappy
You guys
all
both picked
year.
You guys
Yeah,
both
Cleveland
picked
Browns
Cleveland,
slappy.
so you guys are both.
You still think they're going to win the division?
I didn't say I never said they were still going to win the division. I said they still had a chance.
You picked them to win the division.
I think Malik backed down a little bit last week.
All right, fine. But yeah, the Browns didn't look good. My takeaways from this: Odell should start at quarterback. Baker needs to retire. Freddie Kitchens needs to be
Talk about
fired.
overreactions.
And
Baker needs to retire.
I'm pretty sure I'm just overreact to everything. Yeah, I overreact to everything. But yeah.
At least you're honest.
No, I know. I understand. Pistons are going to win that 2020 NBA championship. So, yeah. Anything from that game you guys want to talk about? How bad Baker was, maybe?
He's regressing.
I mean,
Is it because of the coaching, or is it because of the system they're running? Is it the offensive line? What is
it's because of he's a second-year QB with a first-year coach. When you come in as a rookie and you have a good year, you need consistency to keep getting better. He doesn't have that. He has a guy that just wants to run an exciting offense and not just stick with Chubb being the lead guy in the offense, what they should do, which it shows that running it through him works the most. But you got Odell, you got Jarvis Landry. You want to make big plays. So Freddie Kitchens wants to be exciting. The O-line is not good right now. They're just playing poor football. And then Freddie Kitchens can't figure out how to get Odell the ball in a manner that makes them like better and gives them positive plays.
Is Freddie Kitchens the quarterback?
No. That's
Okay.
why I said it's not all the blame isn't on him. It's Baker's fault too. He has limitations as an athlete that goes to it also. I think a quarterback like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, I think, would be able to do more with what this team is right now. But Baker isn't he's mobile, but he's not the most mobile guy. He's better when he's a tactician. He's in the pocket just picking a team apart, pass after pass after pass, quick plays. when he gets out and holds the ball and tries to just be a gunslinger, it doesn't always work. There's a reason why he had 18 interceptions last year along with 26 touchdown passes. He had his really good moments. He had his bad moments. And the bad moments are coming out now with a mix of the style of play he has and the situation he's in as a second-year quarterback. It's a horrible mix.
I don't want to discount San Francisco, though. I think they
played lights out.
They proved themselves big time in this game. Their defense looked really good. I don't know if you guys caught the Nick Bosa sack on Baker Mayfield,
Yeah,
and then he planted the flag. That was fantastic, planting the flag. Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman almost each had 100 yards rushing. I think
So
San
impressive.
Francisco had like 260-something rushing yards, almost 300 yards on the ground. It was incredible the way they picked them apart. Cleveland's defense just looked really bad, too. And I think going forward, like, to be able to stop the 49ers because they play so hard on defense, because of the way that they run the ball, teams are going to have to hunker down and make Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball. Because he didn't really have to in this game. He did, and he looked good when he did it. But really, they just pounded the ball and just ran all over Cleveland the entire night. So it'll be interesting going forward to see how far San Francisco can go, because they're looking really good right now.
Something else weird I noticed, I think they played a Baker Mayfield commercial every time they went to commercial during that game yesterday. And I don't like how many commercials he's in while he's playing this bad.
Oh,
It's just
stop
a horrible look.
Stop. Let the man get his money. Let him cash his check. Stop being a hater. Stop being a hater, Malik.
I'm just saying.
He's cashing them checks.
He is cashing them, which is
Yeah.
it's good for him.
Because
Yeah,
he's a
you-
Building
personality.
that wealth.
Yeah, good for him.
You better play some good football, Baker. You
Uh,
and Freddie better get it together.
let's jump into our week 6 picks. Current standings. I made a comeback, guys. And just kidding. I regressed.
You did make a comeback, and then you lost it, basically.
Joey is in first with 50. Malik with 43 is in second, and I'm at 39. Yes. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to give you guys hope. I don't even have hope anymore. I'm just gonna pick games, wishing for the best, because that's all I got.
Go with the opposite of the strategy you usually go with.
We've
Maybe that'll
only-
work.
We've only gone through week 5. We're basically like a third of the season in. You guys still got time.
Exactly. Or maybe I'm just doing reverse psychology and I'm gonna mess you up even more.
Joey's doing reverse psychology, giving us hope. He knows he's gonna win, and he's just trying to not be cocky about it. He's trying to not put that.
You guys
bad,
make
that bad karma out there.
make safe picks.
He's not wrong.
You might get back.
Joey doesn't want that bad karma coming back to
Yeah.
him.
Like last week, Chris, you wanted to pick first, or did you want to pick second?
I don't remember.
I don't either. You might have wanted to pick second.
I think so.
But then you lock yourself into trying to go for an upset. So if you want to pick first this week, go for it.
Yeah, let me do it. Let me go with my my gut.
He jumped to it. Yeah,
so
let
then
me do it.
I have to go for the non-favorite.
All right, Giants at New England.
New England.
Give me New England. I mean, I'm a dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
If the Giants win, just kudos to the Giants.
Exactly.
Carolina at Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I think they can hold off McCaffrey enough where Kyle Allen can't beat them. At home in Tampa Bay, crab legs. He might be filled by then, so I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
I am gonna go Carolina. I think their defense makes it really tough for Jameis, and I think he has an average game, and I think Christian finds more ways to score and get yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, their defense is underrated, I think. Forgotten about a little bit.
They're one of the biggest reasons they're winning so many games.
Right.
Yeah. They're keeping teams under like 17, 16 points.
But I think Tampa Bay's defense is a little bit underrated as well. And Mike Evans had 0 catches last week. Granted, Marshawn Lattimore plays for the Saints. But I think Tampa Bay is going to bounce back. I think Tampa Bay's
Come on, Joe. That was my upset pick.
Sorry. It's not really an upset. It's kind of like a 50-50 game.
Cincinnati at Baltimore. You best
Baltimore.
believe we ain't picking no Bengals. Joey, can I lock you in for the Bengals?
No.
Seattle at Cleveland. That's the easy one. Seattle's
looking real good.
and Cleveland's looking real bad.
Do it, Malik.
Malik,
Do it.
you won't. You don't have the confidence in
Seattle.
yourself.
I'm a Russell guy. Gotta go.
New Orleans at Jacksonville.
You said New
This
Orleans?
is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm going. I'm
Is this
wavering.
Is this
New
Minshew
Orleans
mania?
defense. The Saints are rolling now because
Yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater's playing really
See,
good.
Gardner Minshew, I love the guy. He's cocky.
And I feel like they're
confident.
opening Teddy Bridgewater's playbook up a little bit.
But Teddy Bridgewater is a classy guy. He's all class. And he's
just
paid his dues.
He's just the nicest guy.
He is. And he's paid his dues. Give me New Orleans. I'm rocking with good karma.
We need to keep that soundbite for the best case for an NFL team winning this year. He's just classy.
He's a classy guy.
Class personified.
you telling me that Gardner Minshew is not a classy guy?
Gardner Minshew is the real embodiment of Uncle Rico.
Yeah.
I am not going to go with the Jaguars. I'm still going to go with the Saints. But
I'm going with
I
Minshew
love
mania. And because I love the name DJ Shark. How could you not?
You know it's Chark, right?
No, we're going with Shark.
I like Shark.
We're going with Shark.
There's been a lot of debate
All right.
about that recently.
All right. Houston at Kansas City. This is a tough one.
I'm going to go.
Oh, I'm going Kansas
Houston.
City. Okay,
I'm
Malik.
going Houston.
Ooh, is Houston going to do
That
it again?
Kansas City defense
Can Houston do it again?
has some holes.
See, I think you messed up.
That Kansas
It's
City
in
defense has
it's
some
in
holes.
Kansas
It
City,
is.
man. It's a bounce back
But-
opportunity.
I think Deshaun Watson is on a
Man.
mission. I think that Kansas City defense is not going to put enough pressure on him. He's going to hit the open men. When they try to get pressure on him, he's going to run out. He's going to put up points.
This is going to be a fun game. This is going to be my game of the week, besides the Monday night game. But
Join the dark side.
like
I'm just kidding. The light side, Houston.
Deshaun Watson is one of those guys that once he heats up, like he gets hot and he just keeps firing on all cylinders. And I hope that Patrick Mahomes can make a bounce back in this game.
I think Pat Mahomes will play well too, but I think Deshaun Watson is going to win the.
I think
match.
right now Houston has more weapons, and I like their defense a little bit more.
So you're going with Houston?
I'm going with Houston.
Good. I get a game on you guys. Washington at Miami. Battle of.
Ooh,
Okay, hold on.
Is that my? Give me Josh Rosen. Give
I'm
me
taking
Chosen
Miami.
Rosen.
I'm picking Miami to win this
Give
one.
me Chosen Rosen.
Give me the Dolphins.
Wait a minute. What? Did you see Miami just traded Devontae Parker away? Did you see that? Right? I think.
Are you picking Washington or are you picking Miami, Joe?
Huh?
Actually, you know what? I'll pick the opposite of Joey.
Can anybody confirm that Devontae Parker has been traded?
Let me
can't deny it.
Let me do the Googles really quickly.
I'm almost positive they traded Devontae Parker. Who's
I
their number
haven't
one
heard
receiver?
anything about that. Devontae Parker. And then they have Preston Williams and some other guys. That really short receiver.
I think they
from
traded
Texas
into
Tech.
the Raiders.
Devontae Parker is an American football wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. He hasn't been traded.
Okay. Maybe it was
Chosen
somebody else.
Rosen gets his one win of the season.
Somebody else got traded to the Raiders, I believe. Wide receiver. I don't think it mattered. I actually think that Washington has a little more talent. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be, but I think they have a little
Colt
bit.
McCoy.
I'm just going with like the one piece that each team has,
So who are you picking?
and I'm saying
You know
like that's like Terry McLaurin versus
Yeah,
maybe Josh Rosen is the best player on
I'm
Miami.
rethinking this.
I'm going with Washington because they got Terry McLaurin.
Washington looked really good against the Eagles. in
Okay, and
week
let's be
one.
real.
Terry
here.
McLaurin is on my fantasy team, so
And Miami looks like a college football team. Like they might lose. to
Although
Alabama.
the Giants completely flattened them.
Washington
and they don't have a lot of talent.
Washington has sort of a defense, whereas Miami has no defense.
Yeah.
They've given up 40 points a game.
All right, I'm going Redskins. Yeah, you've talked me into it.
Okay, yeah. I'll
Sorry,
go
I'm sorry to
Redskins,
sway you guys.
yeah. I just wanted to give Josh Rosen a win.
I just want you to
feel
know
bad for
if
him.
Miami wins this weekend, we're giving Joey all the flack, and he no longer can be a Dolphins fan.
He trusts Bill Callahan, the associate head coach.
Philadelphia at Minnesota. I know Joey's picking Philadelphia because he's a Lions fan and wants Minnesota to lose. So I'm just locking that in now.
Philadelphia at Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
I'm going with
Huh.
Philly too, though. I agree with Joe. And Malik's gonna go.
Yeah,
with
I'm gonna go.
Minnesota.
No, I'm going Philadelphia.
Oh.
That Eagles D line, especially Brandon Graham. Has
All
started
right,
to
who do you
wreak
trust
havoc.
though? Kyler Murray or the 1-4 Falcons?
It's the Cardinals versus Falcons.
yeah,
Is it in Arizona?
another bird battle.
In Arizona.
I'm gonna go Falcons. The Falcons are 1-4.
You're falling for it again.
I don't think the
week
Falcons
by
will
week,
start
you
1-5.
fall for it. You fall for it
I
every
don't think
week.
the Falcons will start
You fall
1-5.
for it every week.
Arizona has.
You
Nah.
fall for it every week. You
The,
take 'em.
the Falcons are
have
those
one
receivers are
win.
gonna make plays on them.
Oh, the Raiders got Zay Jones.
Yeah.
I was just
From
thinking of one of my
Buffalo,
other
okay.
teams.
Joey, who you got in this one?
I'm going Atlanta, man.
I fall into this trap too. Like, how can Atlanta not win this game?
Yeah.
I just don't see it. They have especially with their receivers, and the secondary for Arizona is so bad.
Exactly.
They shouldn't lose this game.
I'm picking the Falcons.
Who are you picking, Chris?
Falcons.
I'm going to go Arizona then. I'll do it.
Dang it, Chris.
I'll do it.
We're going to lose that one. I know it now. But that's a loss. That's a loss. Just move on.
San Francisco at the Rams.
Oh, man.
This is a good game.
It's
Rams
a
will look
division
shaky.
matchup, too.
Could the
San
Rams
Francisco
make a
at the
bounce
Rams.
back?
That San Francisco defense is balling right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff does not.
The Rams should have beat Seattle, though, to be fair.
I'm going to give it to the 49ers.
Greg Zerline missed
I'm
a
going
44.
Rams.
All right. I'll go San Francisco. We'll give Chris one. Maybe.
Tennessee at Denver. Titans.
Broncos. I think they have some momentum coming off of that win against the Chargers. They have some confidence.
Their defense,
I don't think the Titans have anything that'll like really
and
surprise.
Denver's
Denver.
defense is good enough to stop Marcus.
Phillip Lindsay's playing really well. Cortland Sutton's playing well.
Who you going, Joe?
I'm going Flacco.
See, when you say that, it kills me on the inside, but I'm still gonna go with it.
Dallas at the Jets. All right, I'm picking the Jets.
Cowboys.
Give me the Jets. Sammy D is back.
Okay, Chris just putting himself in a bigger hole.
Listen, man. Chris, if you have
Dallas.
three wins this coming into next week, I don't think I'll be surprised.
If the Jets win, I'm rocking so much Jets gear to the show.
okay.
Best believe.
I'm trying to think if there's something better, like if the Jets win, we do something, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah, what do I get? You guys bring in pizza. Deal?
I'm not gonna go out of my way to get vegan pizza.
Just ask for no cheese.
If the Jets don't
You can
win,
get it from Jets. I want
Oh
Jets
my
pizza.
God, Jets.
I want Jets pizza. I want Jets pizza. If the Jets win, I want Jets pizza.
All right.
That's a deal.
if the Jets win, you can have a Jets themed bachelor party that we have to coordinate.
I want Jets pizza. Only if Sammy D is invited to my bachelor party.
And Jets pizza will be served at the bachelor
I want-
party too.
Wait. I want Jets
And
pizza.
Fireman
next week.
Ed will.
All right,
be
hold on. Oh, I wish. Fireman Ed. Oh, he would probably be a party.
Oh, jeez.
Man, the things that guy has seen.
Pain.
Yeah.
If the Jets win
Bunch
this
of pain.
game and Sam Darnold comes back, Sam Darnold's the truth.
And you're getting me Jets pizza.
Sure.
All right, no cheese.
Jets
Wait,
pizza,
hold
buddy.
on. No cheese, thick crust, green
You can
peppers.
text him this later.
No. The people need to know what the best pizza is.
Okay.
Green peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Thank you.
That sounds very off.
Hey, you can pick the Jets with me, and you can get your own pizza. Pittsburgh at the Chargers.
Man, I wish they had Mason Rudolph. I'd pick them in a heartbeat because Mason Rudolph is really starting to get it going.
I'm taking the Chargers.
They're making plays. I think the Steelers have a third stringer from Samford
So you taking
as
the
their
Steelers?
starting quarterback.
Delvin
I'm-
Hodges.
Yeah, that name.
Delvin Hodges.
That just sounds like somebody you like pick up in NCAA 14 as a recruit. I got the 5-star Delvin Hodges. I'm going with the Chargers, man. I don't know nothing about Delvin Hodges.
I don't know. He sounds like one of those fill-in characters that they just give you. You know,
He's
just
an auto-generated rookie.
Or
Yeah.
or a 1-star recruit that you cut as soon as you get him. Like, I don't need Delvin. Who needs
I'm sorry, Delvin. You're a much better quarterback than I am. But yeah,
Chargers.
yeah.
Detroit at Green Bay. I'll leave this one to you, Joe.
Why do you got to leave it to me?
I want you to make the pick first.
Because you're the
know.
Lions ambassador.
You already know who I'm picking.
I want to hear your reasoning.
How in the world could I not pick?
I want to hear your
Detroit.
reasoning. How are you going to pick Detroit in Green Bay?
Blindside him and pick the Packers. That'll really mess him up.
That would mess me up. 'cause
That
I'm
would-
picking-
that
I'm
would
picking Green
really
Bay.
mess
I'm
him
picking
up.
Green Bay.
I think if you pick Green Bay, he'd pick the
Because
Lions.
Detroit's
No.
defense is solid, and they have more weapons on offense than Green Bay does. That's my answer. Darius,
Okay.
big play, Slay doesn't even have to guard anybody. They don't got to worry about nobody.
That's a very scary, confident statement you just
Malik,
made.
should I just pencil you in for
That should
Green
not
Bay?
be made for the Lions.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling has looked terrible. Geronimo Allison has looked terrible. Devontae Adams can't stay on the field.
Geronimo Allison doesn't look terrible.
He's looked terrible.
Malik, can I put it in pen?
Give me the Lions, man.
Aaron
What?
Jones had a good game last week. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Plus, the Lions are one of the few teams that can just play man-to-man defense against people. That gives them a lot more options. And they can stop the run with that.
Man, I don't know.
I'm good at persuading people, okay?
I don't know why Malik just did that. He just ruined this week for himself.
What receiving core would you rather have, Chris? The Lions receiving core? Or the Packers receiving
core?
core?
One aspect of the game.
Would you rather have Kerryon Johnson
of the game.
or Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
Just because he had a good game last week?
Joey, would you rather have a regular Jets pizza or that weird combination pizza?
Oh,
I would rather have a
want-
regular Jets pizza. I'd actually like to go somewhere else. I'm not a big Jets fan, but
Hey, come on, man.
Well,
That's some of
we're
the
not going.
best
You're
deep
bringing it
dish
to the
pizza.
studio.
Come on.
but anyway.
you know you're bringing it into the studio. We can go to G's.
Anyway.
You can get G's if you want.
Detroit.
What's next on the docket, host?
Are you picking Green Bay?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, you say that now.
Yikes.
God.
Who picks
I
Green
hope you guys
Bay?
know I'll be cheering for the Jets so hard this week. I just want that free pizza.
When the Cowboys are up 21-0.
It's not going to matter because if Detroit loses, I'm going to be super sad. So
And then he's going to have to buy me a pizza too.
no, I'm not worried about that.
If they lose, buy yourself a pizza and bring it in.
Ooh.
So we can shame the pizza as you eat it during the
Eat a
show.
meat-filled, cheese-filled pizza. I would die.
Let's
Yikes.
move on to NBA preseason.
We got a couple minutes left, so we'll touch on some things. Zion looks amazing. Lonzo looks
Amazing.
Yes, for a debut for a rookie. Yeah, he
We
looks
all
good.
know he can dunk.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
He didn't actually look like a crazy high flyer in that game. I don't know if it was just me, but like his vertical,
The dunks were powerful.
his vertical looked normal.
When he gets a running
he was
start,
jumping
when
high.
he gets a running start, the
Yeah,
dude gets
he
up.
should move out the way.
But I
Yeah.
think
a lot of people.
I think he's in a similar vein to Vince Carter that like
No.
Can you just let me finish, please?
No.
In a similar vein to the way that he throws down, like he emphatically dunks every time. Like he means something every time he dunks.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Jeez, man. Gosh. And that's, I think, where a lot of people get the excitement from Zion Williamson. He doesn't just go up and dunk. He tries to dunk on people and throw it in their face.
So other takeaways from the game.
The Pelicans look good.
The Hawk, Trae Young looks good.
They got a lot of weapons. The Hawks are an
Yeah.
up-and-coming team.
They have a lot of options. The Hawks have a lot of options too. I love the drafting they've done. Cam Reddish might really sneak up on people. He has so
Mhm.
much talent.
Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter looked great.
Yeah, his jumper is looking pretty good so far.
They got
from the
shooters
beginning.
at all positions.
It was sad seeing Jabari Parker playing later in that game.
He's
Kinda.
done.
I didn't even know he was on the team.
He's
Chris,
done.
what's our Pistons update for their preseason game?
They
against the
got
Magic?
scorched. They lost 115-91.
Mm.
Tell us about your favorite performance from that game last night.
Christian Wood.
Like, yeah, the guy. Tell us what you.
Christian Wood
see
looks
from
really
him.
good.
Yeah.
I really think Christian Wood's going to be solid. I think they'd be dumb to cut him.
A full-on preseason performance.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they need to train Langston Galloway for anything they can get.
Okay.
I
So they
agree.
can keep the rest of the roster together and keep Christian Wood on the team.
They need
Because
to-
I think he is he's like Eric Moreland, where the fans love the energy that Eric Moreland provided, but he's actually good at basketball. That's the difference between him and Eric Moreland.
How do you feel about that, Malik? You an Eric Moreland guy?
Aaron Gordon was getting off in that game, and Andre Drummond took a three. Let's move on to
Oh,
the
that
next
three
game.
was bad.
Trade
I mean,
Andre.
He's gonna sign. It sounded like Gore said they want to keep him long term.
There's something I want to say about Tom Gores, but
Say it real quick.
I
We're about
don't
to end the
think
show,
I-
so you can say it. I can hide it underneath.
I don't
the
think I
music.
should make mentions to drugs on this show.
Wait. I can hide it underneath the outro music. Do you
Are
want
you
me?
insinuating that Tom Gores?
What? And without further ado, we are going to end the show before Malik gets sued.
Sued?
I don't know.
Hey man, Tom Gores has that Tony Montana look. He has that look going on.
Lions Packers Monday night Lambeau
Yeah.
Field. Let's go.
What is
Hey
going
man,
on?
you got the open like hoodie shirt with the crazy hair and the red face. He's on the sidelines looking like, hey, we got it. Hey, yeah, Andre Drummond. Woo, Pistons. Yeah. Tom Gores, ladies and gentlemen. We're out.
See y'all next week.